Located in Utah, USA, newspaper rock is one of the largest known collections of petroglyphs, or rock carvings. It's carved in the rock are 650 human, animal, and abstract symbols. Various Native American tribes left their mark on this large 200 square foot rock face. The rock face is coated in a dark mineral deposit that resulted from rain and bacteria. When the surface is scratched, it reveals a lighter rock underneath. That's our inspiration as we begin making our own petroglyph rock scratch art. Okay, here are some helpful tips as you get started working on your scratch art paper. You might notice that I'm using the end of my scratch art tool for big areas that I want to fill in. And I'm using the tip of the tool when I want smaller areas that I want scratched away. The other thing that I'm thinking about as I begin my scratch art is sometimes the liquid or the film on my hands, the oils that keep my skin from drying out, sometimes what they have a tendency to do is mark up the scratch art paper. And so I always have a Kleenex underneath, because when I've got my Kleenex underneath, I haven't had any problems when I scratch away the black off of the scratch art paper. But I know that if I put my hand on the scratch art paper, that some of the scratch art will be difficult to scratch off. So that's just something I wanted you to be aware of as you begin your scratch art. It's almost like photo paper. Paper that will leave a mark the more you touch it. So just go ahead and keep that in mind as you begin working with your scratch art paper. I like this part of the video because you can see how I'm using the end of my scratch art tool to scratch away thicker areas that I want you to be able to see the color through there. I'm using the tip of my tool for smaller areas. And it's not just drawing in this image, but instead I'm thinking about, once I've got my drawing, what areas can I scratch away so that people can start to see more of the color and start to see more of the image that I want you to be able to see. So those are some tips as you begin working on your scratch art today. All right, now that I've got all of my designs put into my scratch art paper, I'm thinking about taking my scratch art paper and making it more of the rock-like shape. With the brown piece of paper that I've been given, I'm going to crumble that down so that it creates a little bit more texture and starts to look like newspaper rock from Utah. I'm going to draw a nice big U shape onto my brown paper, and I wanted a little bit more texture, but then I'm flattening it out so that I can glue my items onto that brown paper. You'll also notice that I folded the bottom of my paper 2 times to create more of a ledge. This ledge will be used in one of the next couple steps. Now that I've got my paper the same size that I want for my rock background, I'm going to take my glue bottle and glue that in place. It doesn't matter if I touch my photo paper right now because I'm done scratching. I also like to turn it over to the backside to ensure a good glue fit, so that the glue will be secured against that crumpled paper. Now let's add plants to the bottom of my project to make it look more 3D. Go ahead and pencil out whatever kind of plant you would like to use into your project. Use whatever colors that you would like. And I also like to add a little bit of oil pastel so that my items of plants don't look so flat. They start to become more realistic with the more color, and it makes it much more visually exciting and not so boring as just one solid construction paper piece. So once I've got my organic shapes drawn out and I've cut them out, Let me show you how we're going to glue these down to our project as well. Okay, going back into my project, the part that I folded at the bottom, I'm going to start and glue that down onto my paper so that it's got a ledge into my work. You'll notice I'll put glue on the front side of my image so that it connects or it glues down to that front edge of my rock. Kind of gives it more of a 3D look. And it becomes very exciting, not just the colors in your scratch art paper, but the colors that you used for your plant life. I love the way this looks. Thanks for watching and happy art making!